Welcome back to Biafra News Support Biafra people of goodwill. Ada Biafra here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, depending on where you're watching me from. Biafran to bring you another news and update. Biafra Prime Minister Simon Ekpa's message to UK's ambassador Montgomery. Unity is not by force. They can't continue forcing their backward business empire on Biafrans. Biafrans are over ready to exit that contraption, and there is nothing they can do about it. No amount of lobbying can save them this time around. They can no longer lobby Biafrans into their backward business empire called Nigeria. Biafrans are leaving Nigeria, and there is nothing they can do about it. It doesn't matter where they go or how they try to sabotage it. We are exiting that contraption. So Biafra Prime Minister's message to Montgomery is enough for them to understand that they can't continue forcing Biafrans to remain in Nigeria, and they can't continue forcing Nigeria on Biafrans. So before I continue, I would like to welcome all the new and old subscribers. If you're coming across my channel for the first time, please kindly click the red subscribe button, turn on the notification bell right beside it to enable you get notification once I upload a new video. Don't forget to share, like, leave your comments at the comment section. So Biafrans, please pay attention to this very update and watch to the end. Share as you watch. Don't just watch it alone. So here, Richard Montgomery, whatever he's called, said, confident that Nigeria will get a significant international recognition at World Bank and IMF News spring meetings for big monetary and fiscal reforms underway in this country, creating the basis for much more economic and DSDG progress in medium terms. These people keep talking about development, about economic development and whatever it is they are talking about. What exactly are they doing in Nigeria? That is the question. What exactly are they still doing in Nigeria? Why are they the ones lobbying and representing Nigeria at World Bank? Britain is still ruling Nigeria. That is what some of you have failed to understand. They are still the ones ruling Nigeria, hiding at the back of the Fulanis. So here, Biafra Prime Minister Simon Ekpa said, you should, at Montgomery, you should be ashamed of yourself, forcing people and yourself into a failed union. Your Lord Lugard failed state can't be revived again for your interest. You are seeking recognition for a fake entity called Nigeria after over 100 years. You are confident that a terrorist state will get a recognition. Whose detriment? Do yourself go to follow Biafra government and declaration this year? Are you the representative of Nigeria? Is it your job as ambassador to advocate recognition of Nigeria? Are you a British ambassador to Nigeria or Nigeria ambassador to World Bank and IMF News? Coming from Biafra Prime Minister to ambassador, a British ambassador to Nigeria, a question that he needs to answer. Why are they the ones advocating for Nigeria? They are still ruling Nigeria through the Fulanis. That is what some of you has failed to understand. Lugard forced us into that contraption. A country that they have come out to publicly announce of being an Islamic state. We are not Muslims, and they can't continue forcing their contraption down our throat. Their amalgamation has expired, toppled with 10 years. It's time for us to exit. After all, that is what British Lugard stated in the amalgamation, that after 100 years, any group or tribe that wants to exit, they are free to do so. It's not that the world are not aware of these atrocities and the terrorism going on in Nigeria, but because they are allowed, or Britain lobbied them, promising them, not even promising them, allowed them to plug their own pipe to be, exploiting our oil. They are not ready to do anything. That is the corruption we are talking about. It's not that they are not aware that we are done being in a contraption that don't want to move forward. And they are aware that it's time for us to exit. But because of the bribe they are receiving, they don't want to say anything. They don't want to do anything. They are aware of all the happenings in Nigeria, all the corruption and the atrocities, ethnic cleansing, massacre going on in Nigeria. And the politicians in Nigeria are aware that Britain are the ones ruling Nigeria. If they don't get permission or agree to do whatever Britain asks them to do in their state, they will not be in office. That is why all the flavors from Southeast, all the politicians from Southeast are nothing but stooges, puppets that allowed these colonizers use them against their own people. So we must continue, and I'll read some comment from Biafrans. Here again, Biafra Prime Minister said, how many foreign ambassadors in the UK are discussing with your Royal Navy? Your domination in Africa will end soon. Here again, Biafra Prime Minister said, with a picture of a Nigerian army with this Montgomery, or Montgomery, yes. After 100 years, Biafra Prime Minister said, after 100 years of failure, you are here as the last ambassador before the total collapse of Nigeria. Richard Montgomery, go back to UK as the end of Nigeria has come. Take a look at the picture you have. Take a look at the pictures and have shame. You can't have a dangerous diversity and continue to deceive yourself. The corrupt Nigeria police and terrorist Nigeria army are your product. Okay, so Biafra Prime Minister, I'm sure this wherever they are panicking now. Both Asarok, Fulani Kabas, and their master Britain, they are panicking because the end of that zoo is here, and there is nothing they can do about it. The more they lobby, the more they fail. The more they try to force their contraption on Biafrans, the more they fail, because Chukwu Okikabia is time. The freedom Chukwu Okikabia must sign for Biafrans, the time has come. And he ordained this very struggle. He's in charge. That is why all their efforts to quench the light of Biafra, to make sure nobody talks about Biafra anymore, keeps failing. All their evil plans keeps failing and keeps backfiring. They kidnapped Hamadi Kemazin Nnamdi Kanu, thinking, oh, he's the only one that can get Biafra. He's the only one that can talk about Biafra. No other person can rise up from the east. Their politicians who have bought all of them, they are all our stooge. They are all our errand boys, and they can't talk about their people's freedom. Chukwu Okikabia disappointed them when the enemies and the criminal career dictators tried to drop this very mantle for the oppressors to make caricature of it. Chukwu Okikabia sent Biafra Prime Minister. He preserved him for a reason. He had a reason preserving Biafra Prime Minister, and that is the work he's doing with him right now. He said, go and pick that very mantle. It's now up to you to finish this very mission. And since then, they have been panicking. Though they came up with accusations, blackmails, propaganda, lies, to deceive Biafrans, to make Biafrans not to listen to the only man that Hamadike said, go and listen to Simon Ekpa. Make sure you share his videos. He's bringing a new dimension. That new dimension is what you're seeing today, and that is what the enemies and the oppressors, the colonizers, never wanted to see. Biafra is here, and there is nothing they can do about it. You see, this very government, Biafra Republic government in Ezal, is our government, and we no grief for anybody. No matter how hard they try, they will keep failing. Amadike told Britain, if they don't stop, that Chukwu Okikabia maybe Britain. Go and take a look at. There are things they are not showing you happening in UK. Go and take a look at how Nishala, they have almost taken a Britain. And you're telling me that Chukwu Okikabia is not in charge. Of course he is in charge. He is. And he will continue to be in charge. He will continue to be in charge. So let me read some comments from Biafrans. Somebody said, Nigeria was never a country or a nation, but a contraption and a big joke taken too far. Nobody is a true Nigerian, including the drug lord parading himself as a president. Okay. Another person said, fantastically corrupt Ambassador Montgomery, know it now. Bridgie in charge. Okay, don't forget. 2nd December 2024 cannot be stopped. Sealed. Okay. Another person said, evil contraption called Nigeria will come to an end soon. They are deceiving themselves, of course. They are aware of that. They are just trying to see if what worked for them or what they did during 1967 can work again. Chukwu Okikabia has taken over. And he's doing everything through Biafra Prime Minister, genuine Biafrans all over the world, and Biafra gallant men on ground. Another person said, this year is official end of Nigeria. This generation of Biafra is specifically prepared for restoration of USB, United States of Biafra. Another person said, Richard and co are international armed robbers, international natural resources armed robbers coming to Africa to steal the indigenous people's God-given natural resources. If you no leave Biafra and Biafra land alone, your next flight or plane to Nigeria will crash. Okay. Another person said, nothing has changed still under British colonization, but Biafrans are here to change. Biafrans are here to the change. Okay, another person said, such a horrible contraption called Nigeria. Okay, another person said, Montgomery, focus on your job as a UK ambassador. You lobby for criminals in Nigeria government to waste acclaimed World Bank. You corruptly turned a blind eyes on Biafran citizens' self-determination call. Africa has been deceived with this World Bank for centuries. Time for change is now. Okay, dear friends, we must continue. We must continue and know that there is no way the colonizers will bring anything good to any country that they were chased out from. They are still there through some corrupt political criminals that don't care about the well-being and the people in the country. They only care about their pocket. They only care about their pocket. Biafrans are being killed. Even Britain killed Biafrans. 1967, they lobbied many international communities, even lobbied some African countries like Cameroon, that allowed themselves, the government of Cameroon allowed herself to be used against the Biafrans. Through food blockade, they killed millions of Biafrans that asked for nothing but freedom. African leaders are number one problem of Africans. They don't care about the people. They don't care about Africa as a whole. All they care about is the interest of the Westerners, the Europeans. They don't care about their people. And that is how these people, these colonizers wanted to be. A man from France, I don't know his position, said that they must do everything to stop this new African vision of freedom. The way Francophone countries chased France out of their country. He was lamenting how they must stop this new Africa vision. They don't want Africa to be free. They just want Africa to remain down. They want Africa to remain down for them to keep sucking Africa dry and developing their own countries. And you see Africans placing their lives on two-edged swords just to get to Europe. And when you get to Europe, they will call you illegal migrant. They will subdue you to a treatment that even in your... I don't even know how to put it. That is how they want us to continue living, continue coming. You will see them talking on national television, news, how they are helping Africa, how there are too many African migrants, how there are thousands of African migrants that need help. When we have all it takes to build our own land the way we want it to be. This man lamented to an extent of telling you how they are scared of the immigration direction, changing to them being the ones coming to Africa to seek asylum. They want us to be the one, these colonizers want us to be the one to seek asylum. They want us to continue to be the ones seeking asylum, their country. They want us to be the ones coming to their land, placing our lives on two-edged sword, coming to their country to seek asylum. When they are surviving from all the natural resources they're stealing from Africa. Just imagine that. And we have African leaders ready to sacrifice their country for these colonizers' interest. Well, Biafra Prime Minister is here to bring the new dimension Hamadike talked about, and there is nothing they can do about it. The time for us to be free is here, and we cannot miss this very opportunity Chukwokika Abema has given to us. We can't. So we must continue. Another person here said, Montgomery, did you see what Niger did to France? Britain will leave Nigeria disgracefully. Richard Montgomery, you can't take over Nigeria presidency if you want. You can never salvage Nigeria. I want to remind Tendon Street that slavery has ended. Hope you understand. Exactly. Another person said, these insults have become unbearable. Montgomery and World Bank, IMF News. What do you take us for? A commodity? It's time to acknowledge our aspirations for autonomy. Initiating the process of Biafra's disintegration from Nigeria is crucial. Your voice may soon lose relevance. Okay. Another person said Montgomery is a very corrupt criminal, just like his British followers, reaping where they did not sow. But we Biafrans will put an end to their criminality in Biafra land and entire Africa. Montgomery is a shameless criminal. Okay. Another person said they are discussing on how to capture Biafra through the sea. They can't. They can't. Like you said, this is not 1967, 1970. Even 1967, 1970, our fathers fought with whatever they laid their hands on. Did Britain win? No. They lobbied a lot of international communities and those international communities helped them. And when they found out that Biafra fathers were not ready, or should I say Biafra warriors. And the heroes were not ready to give up. They used starvation. They starved Biafrans. Millions of Biafrans had died. And do you know what Britain said? Britain said no amount of death of Biafrans will make them stop. But here we are today, 2024, to put a stop to their slavery, their colonization, and the criminality in Biafra land and Africa as a whole. Biafra is here, and there is nothing they can do about it. Don't forget the new dimension Hamadike talked about. That is what Biafra Prime Minister is doing today, bringing the new dimension. So make sure you share this very news, this very update. Subscribe, turn on your notification bell right beside it to enable you get notification once I upload a new video. Chukwokika Biama is in charge, and he's doing a very great job through Biafra Prime Minister. Don't forget to like and share. Continue praying for Biafra Prime Minister and our gallant men on ground. Thank you all.